Have you ever looked around at the sheer, mind-boggling complexity of the world and just wondered, what's the ultimate reality holding this whole shebang together? It's a massive question, and honestly, trying to wrap your head around the cosmic mechanics of our universe is notoriously tough. So welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to demystify Chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, specifically known as the Yoga of Knowledge and Discrimination. By looking strictly at the source texts and translations, we're going to unpack exactly how this absolute masterpiece of ancient philosophy maps out the physical and spiritual makeup of reality.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. We are starting out on a chariot, smack dab in the middle of a battlefield. This is the historical and literary setting of the Gita. You've got the warrior Arjuna receiving what's basically a cosmic education from Krishna. But right before we peel back the layers of reality the text explores, it's super important to remember something. This physical battlefield, it's really just the stage for a massive, mind-blowing intellectual and spiritual revelation about existence itself.
Here's our agenda for today. First, the rarity of knowledge. Second, the two natures. Third, the essence of all. Fourth, the veil of Maya. Fifth, the four devotees. And finally, transcending dualities.
Section 1. The rarity of true knowledge.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the text immediately establishes the sheer weight of this wisdom. The translation literally says, "Of thousands of men, scarcely anyone strives for perfection. Scarcely anyone knows me in truth." I mean, wow! The sources highlight that out of thousands, maybe millions of people, only a tiny, tiny fraction even try to figure out the deeper nature of reality. And of those who actually put in the sweat to strive for it, scarcely anyone truly grasps the ultimate truth. The text is setting an incredibly high bar right out of the gate.
Section 2, the twofold nature of reality. So how does the source text actually categorize this wild universe we live in? Well, first, it breaks down what it calls the lower material nature, or prakriti, into 8 specific elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and egoism. And what's brilliant here is that it takes these massive, abstract philosophical concepts and grounds them into a really clear, straightforward list. These are literally the physical and mental building blocks making up our tangible, everyday environment.
But, and this is absolutely crucial, there is a second half to this equation. We have to contrast that lower material world, those 8 physical elements, with a higher spiritual nature. The text calls this higher nature the life principle, or the jiva. According to the sources, it's actually this higher, completely unseen spiritual nature that animates and sustains the entire universe. It's the living foundation that all those physical building blocks rest on. Without it, nothing works.
Section 3. The essence of all things.
Now we're shifting from the macro down to the micro. The text takes these gigantic ideas of cosmic creation and zooms all the way in, revealing how this ultimate reality is hiding right inside everyday phenomena. Listen to this beautiful metaphor from the text. All this universe is strung on me like pearls on a thread. And this brilliantly illustrates the Supreme as both the ultimate origin and the ultimate dissolution of everything. Just picture it, every galaxy, every planet, every living being as an individual pearl. The text is telling us there's a single, continuous, unseen thread of ultimate reality connecting and running through every single one of them. It's kind of beautiful, right?
So where exactly do we find this hidden thread in our regular day-to-day lives? The source texts get surprisingly specific. It's the liquidity, or the taste, in the water you drink. It's the pure radiance in the sun and the moon up in the sky. It's the sacred syllable Om in the Vedas, the sound vibrating in the air, and the very underlying nature in humanity. I want you to really think about that the next time you drink a cold glass of water or feel the sun on your face. The text is literally placing the supreme divine essence directly inside those exact everyday experiences.
Section 4. Piercing the veil of Maya.
Which naturally brings us to a huge problem. I mean, if this beautiful unifying essence is everywhere, in the water, the sun, the air, why in the world can't we easily see it? Well, the text gives us an answer: Maya. The sources define Maya as a divine veil of illusion. It's made up of the 3 gunas, or modes of material nature. And the text doesn't sugarcoat it. It says it is extremely difficult to break through. Maya acts as the ultimate roadblock. It totally obscures our human vision, stopping us from just naturally seeing that cosmic reality and the thread holding it all together. When you look directly at the original Sanskrit text, it points straight to how tough this obstacle is. It explains that those whose wisdom gets swept away by Maya just completely embrace delusion. But, and here's the good news, it also gives us the definitive solution.
The text states that only those who constantly adore the Supreme, fixing their focus entirely on the ultimate reality, are able to finally cross this massive illusionary veil.
Section 5. The 4 types of devotees.
Let's pivot to the human element for a second, because the text explores exactly how different people react to all this and what motivates them to seek out the divine in the first place. Our sources map humanity into 4 distinct buckets. First, the distressed, people who are hurting and just looking for some relief. Second, the seeker of wealth, worldly possessions. Third, the seeker of knowledge. And fourth, the man of wisdom. So the crucial point is, why does the text elevate one of these specific types so far above the rest?
Well, the text makes a really clear distinction. It considers the eternally steadfast, man of wisdom, as the absolute highest of the 4. Why? Because his devotion is completely exclusive. He is devoted to the one alone. Actually, scratch that. It's more than just devotion. His mind and intellect are totally merged with the Supreme. He's not asking for material stuff in return. No wealth, no quick escape from a bad day. He's simply seeking pure union with ultimate reality.
Section 6. Worshipping the Supreme versus Lesser Deities.
Looking at the practical side of this devotion, the text draws a really sharp line between 2 different paths. On one hand, worshipping other deities returns temporary heavenly fruits. A person might attain these pious heavenly planets and enjoy godly delights. But the text is crystal clear here. Once that merit runs out, boom, they're right back to the mortal world. They're stuck on the treadmill of rebirth. In stark contrast, worshipping the supreme reality, that leads to ultimate liberation. It breaks the cycle entirely, leading to a permanent, eternal state completely free from material miseries. It's a real game changer.
Section 7. Transcending the Dualities.
Let's move to and see how this builds right into the absolute core of the onion we've been peeling, the ultimate spiritual resolution. The text flags a major hurdle to this liberation, calling it the delusion of dualities. This is that constant, exhausting confusion born from opposing earthly conditions. Think about the endless ping-pong match of joy and sorrow, heat and cold, success and failure. As long as you're caught reacting to these opposites, you're deluded by material nature. The text insists that to get to steady wisdom, you have to completely free yourself from the exhausting grip of these exact delusions.
Which brings our explainer to a close with a final provocative thought straight from the source text. Are you caught up in the endless delusion of dualities, constantly bouncing back and forth between joy and sorrow? Or are you ready to finally look past the veil of Maya and see the single hidden thread that holds all the pearls of the universe together? Thank you so much for exploring the mechanics of reality with me today. Keep seeking and keep learning.